This children's book on Amazon has a bestsellers rank of 310, which means it's selling between 5,000 to 10,000 books per month, which, with royalties of around $1.40 per book, means that this book is making between $7,000 to $13,500 per month in pure profit. And when I look at the bestsellers ranks of my books, I know that that figure is towards the higher end of the range. But there are a couple of issues. The first one being the competition for these types of books on Amazon, and two, the actual creation of one of these types of books. And that's what we're going to look at in this video today. So if you are in the business of creating no content and low content books on Amazon, or looking to get into this business, then follow along as we explore this book further. So what are these books? They are sight words books, and they're books where kids can trace around letters, simple words, simple sentences to improve their handwriting, their spelling, their reading, and also associate images with words. And the education niche on Amazon is very strong because books sell very well and they're strong sellers all year round. So that's why I like these particular types of books. But as I said, the problem is the competition for these types of books. We can see all these books here have very good bestsellers ranks, but they also have quite a lot of reviews, which means they have a good sales history, which helps these books rank on the first page on Amazon. And also, when we search for sight words books on Amazon, we can see that there are 8,000 results, and that is quite a lot of competition. And so that's the first hurdle that we need to overcome, and we do that with keyword research. Now, what is a keyword? Well, it's just the search term that customers enter into the search bar on Amazon when they're looking for a product to buy. In this case, sight words book. And you can see here that Amazon actually gives all these other suggestions, which are also search terms, which we call keywords. And I've also got a free plugin installed called AMZ Suggestion Expander, which gives us all these other keywords here. So what I normally do is take each of these words, put them into the search bar and look at the number of search results, because it will vary for each search term. And what we're after is those words where, or search terms where we're still going to get sales, but the competition is a lot less. And then what I do is take all those words and put them into a spreadsheet. Now, I have done a video on my keyword research in detail, and I'll leave a link to that below in the description, but I don't want to just go through and rehash it all here. So what I normally do is then create a spreadsheet, which I will enlarge for you. And we have basically three columns. One for the keyword or search terms, one for the Amazon search results, and one for the Google monthly searches where available. Now, if a keyword does have Google monthly searches, it just gives that keyword a bit of extra strength and may mean that your book might actually appear in the Google search results. So what we have here is this important column, which is the number of Amazon search results. And you can see here that they do vary wildly. We've got 10,000 here for this particular search term, all the way down to 127. And what we're after are those search terms with 1,000 search results or less. That's in the all categories on Amazon and not the books category. The reason for this is that I found that when you do have 1,000 search results or less, it is a lot easier to rank on Amazon organically. Now, if you are thinking about running ads or you're experienced with ads, then you can consider those keywords that have more Amazon search results. Now, in total, I found 106 different keywords, and it does take a bit of time putting all these into the search bar, but I've saved you the work completely by uploading them to my Gumroad shop. Again, I'll link to that down below in the description. It's completely free of charge, and you can download this list of keywords in Excel, .csv and .pdf format. And they are the good basis on which for you to do further research. And you can use these keywords in the title, subtitle, 7 keyword boxes, and also in the description of your book. Now, when I was doing my keyword research, I did come across a few interesting sub-niches or niches within the main sight words book niche. We have the word search sight words with 1,000 search results and all decent looking bestsellers ranks. I found sight words storybooks, which might be useful if you are into writing kids stories. Next is Sight Words Spanish Workbook. Again, 1,000 results. And this is very interesting because not only are these books selling well, but also you could think about books in other languages as well. And then we've got Dot Marker Sight Words books with only 228 search results. And again, selling very well by the looks of the bestsellers ranks. And if we actually scroll down, we've got books on the first page that don't have a bestsellers rank at all. So ranking in this particular sub-niche with these keywords would, I think, give you a good chance of getting on that first page and hopefully making some sales. And lastly, we've got Unicorn Sight Word books. Again, 1,000 search results, selling well. But along these same lines, you could also think about other themes like dinosaurs, mermaids, or space. So now we come to the creation of the interior of one of these books. We can see that it's basically a handwriting interior with some words written in a dotted font, and we've got these images as well. So what we need is the basic handwriting interior to start with. And I've got one of these that you can download for free in my Gumroad shop. And here it is. And this is for an 8.5 by 11 inch book. And you can download this in .svg and .png file, which is useful if you're using Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity Designer, or Inkscape. Plus, I've recently uploaded to this product a .pdf file, which means you can edit it in Canva, which is very useful because they do have a dotted font that you can use. So just go over to Gumroad, again, link in the description below. Just click on the product, download the files to your computer, then go across to Canva. In the top right, click on Create Design, and here we have the Import File button, so just click on that, and you'll then need to upload the .pdf file to Canva. So once that's uploaded, just click on it and it will open the file. Now, another quick note about this interior, it is a no bleed interior, which is important for the settings when you do eventually upload it to the KDP platform. So here you can see we've got our interior. So the beauty of this interior is that each line is clickable and therefore editable. Now, before we do anything to this page, what I advise doing is making a duplicate copy by clicking on the duplicate page button. That gives us another page to work on after this initial page. So the first thing we can do is put a box around all the lines, click on the color box, and we can adjust the shade of our lines as necessary. For this, I'm just going to stick to the mid-gray. What we can also do is highlight a few lines and just delete them. This then gives us space to put an image and or a box with text in. For this, I'm just going to show you with an image off Canva. Now, if you do use images off Canva, you do need to make yourself familiar with the licensing agreement on Canva. I often use graphics from Vecteezy and Creative Fabrica because I know for certain that I've got the commercial license to use them on all print-on-demand products. But you'll find that most images on Canva you can use, but you do need to double check yourself. So what we can just do is drag an image across, reduce it in size, and there we've got a little elephant on our top line. And as I said, we could add a box and some text also in this blank space. Next, we need to add some text. And this is what I like about Canva, in that it does have a dotted font. So on the left-hand side, click on text, and then in the search box, type student. And here we have our Canva student font dotted. So just click on that and we can then drag a corner to increase the size and then position that as required. We'll just go onto this line here. Now, I don't want to leave it as this, so I'm just going to type in I love elephants, just as an example. Then we can drag that into position like so, and you can increase or decrease the size of the font as you wish. Now, the font is a bit dark, so I'm just going to double click on the sentence, click on our text color box, and just change this to mid-gray. And there we have the basic elements of one of these types of books. So you could fill in all the other lines. And what I would also do is just delete those lines in the middle there and add in a different image, some text if necessary, and then do on the next line some letters, the next line, some simple words, and then the line after that, a simple sentence for kids to trace around. Once you've done that, you'd obviously go on to the next page. Again, before you edit that page, I would just recommend duplicating it so that you do have another page to work on. And you can continue doing that until you've done the required number of pages that you want for your book. Once you've done that, you hit the share button, top right hand corner, click on download. In the file type, choose PDF print, and then you just download it to your computer, and that's ready to upload to the KDP platform. As well, you'll need to create a book cover for these types of books. So you could do that yourself, or you could outsource it on a site like Fiverr, where there are some good offerings for people that will create book covers for you. Now, if you've not yet created your first KDP book and uploaded it to Amazon, what I suggest doing is first of all starting with a basic lined journal or notebook. And I've done a video right here on the step-by-step process of creating your first lined notebook, which is then ready to upload to Amazon via the KDP platform. Thank you very much for your time. It is very much appreciated, and until next time, goodbye.